So peeps, as you may or may not know, and if you don't know, then I'm a bit annoyed really, because it means you haven't been watching the videos. But if you have, you'll know that in Brumbo last week, this lad here made a grave mistake really, and we ended up blowing the prop. So Connor and I went for a little jaunt around yesterday, went and sorted out my CB over at the CB shack in Lynn. And then we also went over to see our friend Gwyn Lewis, Gwyn Lewis 4x4. Oh, what a day that was. What a day that was. Only went for a few bits. God, we were there for hours, you know. Hours and hours. But it was good fun. It's good fun. We might even be able to bring you a little bit of something of that workshop and the stuff that he's got going on there. But anyway, I digress because I'm good at that, aren't I? I'm good at that, you know. So what we did in this box here is a very special thing for Ben. We've got himself a Gwyn Lewis prop. So, like I keep saying to people, if you can afford it, you know, upgrade. Now, if you're going to upgrade this kind of kit, this is the place to go. Trust me. Get on his website, have a look. He's renowned. I mean, most of the stuff he gets, or not most, maybe half of the stuff that he sells goes abroad, you know. Goes all over the world, this guy's stuff. But anyway, like I say, I keep digressed, don't I? So, let's open it up, shall we, Ben?
Yeah.
And see what's in. We do like shiny bits, eh? Oh, so look at that. Grease.
Ooh,
special Mr. Gwyn Lewis grease, that. Yeah. Morris grease, I think we used there from Gwyn, isn't it?
K48.
K48. Make sure you grease everything up, you know, make sure you grease. Everything's pre-checked that's in this box, by the way. Maybe when we get over to Gwyn's, we'll go through, if he's available to do it, we'll go through, you know, the exact. These things aren't just manufactured and thrown in boxes. Every single part that goes back into Gwyn Lewis there is gone through and quality checked by himself or a member of his family. So we can be guaranteed that we know this is how it should be. So, look at that. Brand new prop bolts as well. Now it is recommended, peeps. Recommended now. I keep telling you, I'm no mechanic. But it's recommended that these are replaced every time you undo them. Yeah. Do we do that?
I've still got the spare ones from Brumbo there. I was going to use them, but you know.
But we've got new ones, peeps, so we'll put new ones in. Thank you for that, Gwyn. So, go and have a look. Now, they do a couple of colours. What colour do you think we got for him? Leave us a comment down there. Did we get back? Oh.
I was too quick, wasn't I?
I bet you've heard that before, Ben.
Hey, less of that now. That's more of Connor's blue movies, that stuff, eh? Hey, blue movies.
Let's have a look at what we've got here.
Now, already you can see the difference in this from a standard prop for a D2. It's
got quite a girth on it, hasn't it? Quite a girth.
That's the word, Graham. That's the word.
So, this is what you're paying for when you pay this extra cash for this kind of kit. If you were to put that next to any standard D2 prop, you'll see the massive difference. Now, I'll tell you what these are for, Ben. These here, right, are a little, to take out the grease nipples, so that you don't catch them and knock them off and you get all shite in there. You still have everything, look.
Huh? Even spare grease nipples and that.
So that's what you should do. I'm sorry to say, Gwyn, I don't do that. I've got 2 bags of these. Forgive me, please, forgive me, Gwyn. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at popping this onto the car. We'll see if we can get Connor down on his knees here and get a bit of footage of it, eh? So I'm not going to fit this, right? I'm not, because it's his car. He broke it. You know what I mean? So, and it's a nice, easy job, peeps. It's a nice, easy job. So if you want to do something like this yourself, it's dead easy to do, you know. Dead easy to do. Only 8 bolts on it. So let's just get ourselves up. We've got the special tool. So need a special tool for this.
That was bought
unless you
from
want to
Gwyn
struggle.
Lewis as well.
That was this from Gwyn Lewis?
Yes.
They are, see? So that's a special prop tool that you need, and a 9/16 spanner. That's all you need, really. So let's get on our knees down there and see what it looks like when it's all on, eh? Quickly, before we do get underneath, this is important. Everything that comes from Gwyn Lewis will come, if needed, with fitting kits, fitting instructions. It is important, people, right, that you read through these. Don't just slap it on. Do you know, you pay a lot of money for one of these, and the best thing to do is make sure you get the best out of it. So read through the instructions, go all the way through. You need to make sure that these faces here, if there's any paint, anything like that on there, give them a clean off and give them a brush with some of this wonderful grease that he supplies along with it. Look at that. So give them a bit of a brush with some grease around there. That saves them getting stuck and rusted on later. Again, I'm not going to say whether I did that or not. I can't remember. I hope I did. If I didn't, I'll take them off and do them before I go and see Gwyn next time.
But like you said about him thinking about everything, look, 2 sets of instructions. The amount of times I've been using them and absolutely destroyed them. Spare one in the cab. Love it.
It'll tell you in there all about all the things you shouldn't do as well. All the things that will ruin the life of your prop. Do you know? So make sure we'll go and have a quick read through these now, because you're not like for instructions. So we'll go and have a quick read through these and we'll meet you down there, all right? So all we're doing here is just giving them the flanges a bit of a go over with the wire brush. You need to get a wire brush on your flanges, people. It's good for them. Trust me, looks painful, but it's not. You can't beat a good wire brushed flange. So we'll just give these a good clean off. There's only a little bit of surface rust and that on them, but you're better safe than sorry, ain't you? So we got a bit of grease there. Comes a little bit on that finger there.
Grease guns are always full of the Gwyn loose grease, aren't they? Yeah.
That'll do. And put a little smear on there.
Same on the opposite side, is it as well?
Bit more. And the same on the front. I've already brushed the front one off while Connor was out with the camera. We'll just do that one as well. A little bit on there. Okay. Double Cardan prop. Read the instructions. Okay. Double Cardan, gearbox end, transfer box end. On a wide angle prop, apparently according to the instructions now, see, just to prove I've read them, if it wasn't a double Cardan, just a wide angle, then the slider generally goes to the back. So see how important it is to read the instructions. So we'll lift this up. I think we bang the transfer box on end first, and then we might have to just jack one wheel to twist it about. Let's have a go. Heavy this, you know. So it'll only go on one way because of the PCD of it. So you can't really get it on the wrong way, he says. There we go. So as long as you put a couple of loose nuts on there, Ben. And once this is on, you will need to re-grease, I think.
Yeah.
There is grease in it. I can see grease, but you can't put too much in. I mean, at the end of the day, it's only going to flick out all around underneath the car, isn't it?
That's it.
And it's not like a Land Rover couldn't do with that.
That rust prevention, is it?
That's it. Rust proofing. Give us one of them nuts, Ben.
Yeah. There you go.
So the other thing to remember is when you get these bolts, the new bolts, right, we're not replacing the ones on the transfer end because pretty much you have to take the flange off to do that, I think. They're a bit of a nightmare to get in and out. It's a big circlip. But the longer ones are for the transfer box flange and the shorter ones are for the front prop. I think that's right, isn't it, Connor? So I have to check these things. Wait till you get to my age, you'll have to check things like that as well.
I have to check things now, Graham.
All right, one more nut there, Ben.
It's always worth checking though, isn't it? Check it, get it right, and don't have to do it twice.
Ben's got no handbrake. Shouldn't be lying under here with no handbrake.
It's chocked safely with a handbrake drum.
Oh, yeah, it has got a handbrake drum under the back wheel. The handbrake drum up here, it's not worth having. But at least there's one under the back wheel, eh? All is not lost, people. All is not lost. What's that doing there? That's a bit fancy, isn't it? He's got a cross member on there. Look at that.
Oh no, keep away. No,
I haven't seen one of them for a while.
that might have to disappear now.
He should be all right, shouldn't he? He's not running a massive lift or anything. So just while Ben's getting that sorted, this here is the important bits, right? See the angles on these props here? You need to be trying to keep that angle there as straight as possible. So if you speak to Gwyn, right, he'll tell you, 2-inch lift, you don't need more than 2-inch lift. Well, I've got a 5-inch lift. I shouldn't have, it's a bit naughty really, isn't it? Because this is what it ruins your props. So if you go and buy one of these props from Gwyn Lewis, right, and you put it on your disco and you've got a 6 or 8-inch stupid lift, and these angles are all wrong, don't go ringing him up after saying, My prop's broke, because it will have broke because you've broke it, you know. You need to look after these bits of kit. It's important. Keep an eye on these. If these bind up, they will snap like anything else will. Do you know? Keep an eye on them. Keep them well greased as well, you know. If you're doing a lot of water crossings, stuff like that, it's a good idea once you get back to grease them up again.
Even
you
just
know?
muddy puddles.
Go on, Ben, take it up a touch.
Yeah.
So,
Was it the short bolts for the front, Graham?
yeah, short bolts for the front. Now just turn that wheel again, Ben.
Yep.
Really, I don't know whether we can get this, Connor. Can we get a close up on this flange here so you can see
We can try.
the PCD? So we're seeing here, you've got big spacing, smaller spacing. Can we get that?
Well,
There's a bigger spacing there between those two than there is between those two.
There's an anomaly in the way. And we know what that is.
My hand.
No.
Oh, the
Cross
stupid
member.
cross member.
Leave my cross member alone.
Maybe we'll show you on an old prop.
Go on, but do it again, Gray. I might just have it there.
So, on here, just got all mud in my mouth. So, the gap between that bolt hole and that bolt hole is greater, or larger, than the gap between that hole and that hole. So, that means that you can only get this on one way. So, if you get the first bolt in, and the next one won't go in, you need to do what Ben's just done there. Jack the wheel up, spin the wheel slightly, and line it up, start again. Make sure you've got that PCD right. I don't know why I'm telling you this. You know all this stuff, don't you? Do you know what I mean? Me talking like I know what I'm talking about here. Never mind. Right, anyway. I digress again. Right, turn that wheel for me, mate. So, again, on the front one here. Right, on the back, the bolts come from the transfer box through the flange, and then the nuts go on the prop end. On the front, you can't do that because there's not enough room. So your bolts go through from the prop end, and the nuts go on the flange end. Hope that makes sense. Doesn't make any sense to me. But it might to you people because you're used to listening to my dribble.
I need to have a go with them, Graham.
Let's just you can tighten all these up, Ben. I'll just get them in, mate, and then I'm gonna. Because I did say earlier.
You know what I was
Did I
thinking
say
about?
I'm not doing this? Did I say that?
Well, I think Graham just wanted to make sure you talk through it properly because the instructions have got a lot of really important parts.
Do make sure you read them, peeps. You know.
And if I remember rightly, even if you lose your instructions,
Right,
they're
turn that
all
wheel for me
on
again,
the
mate.
website.
Okay, so that's all in place now. All that's wanted now is the see this tool here, people. That there, as daft as it sounds, as small as it is, it's worth its weight in gold, you know. If you're out on the tracks and you're trying to get a prop off a broken prop, there's nothing worse than trying to struggle with two stupid spanners that do not fit. So get one of them, right? It's well worth having one of those. You see, it's narrow and it fits inside. Just get one,
Literally
right? Just get one.
10 minutes.
And a
when we were at
9/16
Rimbo,
spanner.
wasn't it? 10 minutes and I had all the bits off and we were on our way.
So what I'm going to do now is
Where are they for sale?
I'm going to
Gwyn
drag
Lewis
myself
website.
from under here.
Aren't they? Gwyn Lewis website.
I'm going to drag myself out from under here, right? Because I'm too old to be pissing about like this. And I'm going to go and get a cup of tea. Well, the youngster here tightens his prop up and gets it all nicely greased up. Don't forget now, grease your flange.
Are they all tightened up to spec?
They are.
Torqued?
Fucking tight.
Yes.
But outside.
Tight they need to be. Tight. And then remember now, people, when you're doing a prop like this, right, this is important, trust me. Drive it for a little while, do you know, a day or so. Get back underneath and check them prop bolts because they do have a habit of becoming loose. You don't want loose prop bolts, trust me. So while Ben's just finishing that off, do you know we were down at Gwyn Lewis's yesterday and we were walking around. Now you might have seen a video we did quite some time ago now where we put some of Gwyn's weld-on diff guards onto Dora.
Oh, is that when I let the pigeons escape from the welder?
That was the one. That was the very one. That was the very one. So while we were there yesterday, saw something on a pallet there that seemed like that looks a little bit different. Look at this. Now, to an untrained eye like mine, like everyone else's, they just look like weld-on diff guards, don't they? That's all they look like. But in reality, I shouldn't be smoking really, should I? I keep getting told off for that, you people. In reality, they're ever so slightly different. This one here is specifically designed for the D2. So, I don't know whether you can actually see it. It's quite subtle. When you put the one on the D2, the old ones that were designed for the Defender axle and the D1 axle, it was a little bit awkward to get at the filler plug and to get it out, get it back in again. So I don't know whether you can really see. It's quite subtle. There's a bit of subtle change to this part of the guard. I'm not exactly sure because it's probably. I'm not exactly sure what the changes are, and it's probably a trade secret, isn't it? It would be if it was mine. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the old ones off, Dora, and we're going to try these because they are great. Don't be wrong, they're fantastic. You know, it saves you having them wrap-round ones, which I personally don't like. A lot of people like them, like the look of them. I just bend them all the time. It doesn't matter how many times you put new ones on. We've tried all sorts, but they just bend us and you hit the rocks. These things don't. So we're going to cut the old ones off, and we're going to try these on. We'll try and we will get it on a video. We'll see if we might even get it on this video. I don't know. It's getting a bit late in the day, and we've got a bit left to do. So keep an eye on those, right? And we'll have a look, and we'll see just how easy it is to get that plug in and out. And what we'll do is we'll have a look at the ones that are on Dora first, and I'll show you what I mean before we start it. And let's see if there's a difference. I'm sure there will be. I'm sure there'll be a massive difference. Otherwise, it's a lot of work for nothing, isn't it? Anyway, I can hear some knocking and banging down there. I think he's not far off. There may even have been a bit of a grunt down there then, I'm not sure, like. But let's have a look, see if he's got that on. Hopefully we're all done with that, and he can go and give it a grease and give it a try up the road without his CDL. Let's have a look.
Nearly done, guys. 2 more bolts to do after this one. It's quite awkward because of the thickness of the actual prop. It makes it a bit more awkward. And as these keep saying, this is in the way. Maybe I will take the cross members off.
You don't need cross members.
We'll see.
Look at Lucy, no cross members. Loads of flex.
What do you think, people? Should I take them off? Get rid of these cross members?
And
leave us a comment.
The front one wants to come off.
No, take them all off.
Take them.
What's he like, take them all off? He doesn't care, does he? Structural, man, structural. But if you do want to take the front one off, I had issues with mine because of the drop and stuff, that it hits the prop hits it all the time. Kept taking the grease nipples off on the prop. So I've taken my front cross member off. Bearing in mind, people, I do have a big, heavy-duty steel bumper bolted into the front of the chassis. Same as Ben here. So really speaking, again, this is my opinion, right? Don't quote me on this. In my opinion, you don't need that front cross member because it's only a little box section thing. You've got this big, massive thing at the front holding it all together. And if you do what Connor does and take them all off and just see his chassis do that. So then, peeps, that's how you fit a Gwyn Lewis prop. Now, don't forget, read those instructions. Like that man doesn't write all that out for his own good, you know. That's for your good, to make sure. Now, next video we'll do on a bit of Gwyn Lewis kit. I think I might have showed you these. We haven't had time to get round to fitting them. So these are the well-done Gwyn Lewis, the diff pans, but these are just for the D2. So they've been slightly modified, ever so slightly, just so you can get the fill plugs. So we'll do you another one of those, and we'll show you those going on. Maybe taking the old ones off and recycling them onto Ben's car or onto the Jimmy or something. I don't know. But we'll do something with them. So make sure you get back here for your next dose of 4-wheel drive UK. All off and just see his chassis do that. And just see his chassis do that.